Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I'll be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, let's get into this. Really quick, thank you for being here. Thank you for your time and your assistance in co creating these messages. I really do love bringing them forth, so thank you. And also, thank you for your support on the channel. The likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations all do help out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All righty. What is going on for the collective? What's going on? Chaos and conflict. Okay. So you could be experiencing chaos and conflict. I'm getting internally and externally. Just like, yeah, it's really conflicted. And when we've got that internal chaos going on, it is common to see it in our external reality. So that's part of the inside out process. Maybe you're working on doing something to where you can clean up that internal chaos and conflict. You've got the angel of balance, but it kind of flipped in reverse. And okay, so there's something here where you are being guided to balance the situation. And then there's also a message here about taking action towards something is going to bring balance. So this is one of those, I'm getting kind of like a procrastination due to perfectionism coming out. So this is that energy of like, well, I need it to be perfect, so I can't do this thing until it's perfect first. And it's one of those, just start, just do the thing, just take that action, even if it's messy. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion, anyways. So it's okay to just kind of stumble through this action. In just accepting the fact that it might not be perfect, and that's okay. Confidence comes from reps. So remember that. Um, I feel like this is like starting something new or taking action on something that is it's like life changing. Community. Okay. So taking action on the community. Maybe this could be like changing your community is kind of what's coming up. Like aligning with different types of people. For some of you, you're experiencing chaos and conflict because of certain people that are around you or like your inner circle. And that's what's making it difficult to take action. So maybe there's people around you that aren't really supportive of what you're getting ready to take action towards. And this could be causing some extra chaos and conflict. Okay. Okay, for some of you, you could be starting a business. That might be something that's going on. Um, for others of you, you are finding your community online. And woman holding a heart. Okay, so this is a feminine energy who's in their heart space, who's operating from that heart space. And it's like this is where it's like balanced giving and receiving is coming out with this energy, with this card. Um Okay, for some of you, you are wanting to take action towards somebody that is operating from their heart. Maybe you're watching this person online and you want them to be a part of your community. For some of you, but you don't feel quite ready because of external chaos or conflict. This could have to do with the internal chaos and conflict too. Maybe you're conflicted on how to go about this. Okay. So I'm not getting that this feminine energy is your energy. Yeah, this feminine energy that's in their heart space feels like somebody external to you. Ah, for some of you, you want a new life that includes this person. Okay, maybe it's a romantic thing. Maybe this is a romantic connection. It doesn't have to be. I just feel like for some of you, it might be. Yeah, with the Angel of Love card, that's unconditional love. So this could be a person that embodies like that unconditional love energy, or this is somebody that you have unconditional love for, and then it's reciprocal. Okay. Adjacent possibilities and message in a bottle. Okay, so for some of you, you are looking for any possible way to communicate with this person. Um, and that's what you're being guided to take action towards or action on is communicating because we've got the message in a bottle card, which is communication. Oftentimes for me, the message in the bottle card speaks of telepathy. So you can have a deep soul connection with this person that you are now desiring to have it as a part of your community. Um, and anxiety. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting that you could, which makes sense because like this chaos and conflict card, that's that's anxiety. Okay. Okay, we've got the all that glitters card and hostilities. And so what this really is telling me is there's a part of you, okay, if this is romantic, especially because we've got the happy family cards that kind of flew out to the side. If this is romantic or if this is somebody that you want a reunion with, part of your anxiety could be coming from this internal conflict where a part of you is still telling yourself that this isn't what it appears to be, that this life with this person isn't actually going to manifest. Um, and it could have something to do with your past. There's something here where it's like because of past situations, you don't entirely think that this could happen, but then there's a part of you that knows that it could happen, that it is possible because we have the happy family card flip out to the side. So like this is I feel like this is what you're desiring with this person is to reconcile and reunite with this person and this is definitely a romantic energy. So you could be desiring a romantic connection with this person. And then there's a part of you that's like, even if this wasn't an option with this person, you still would want them in your life in some way. You still want to be in their life in some way. So I'm getting a really deep soul connection that's coming through here. So you could be feeling pulled towards this person and simultaneously thinking that I'm hearing there's no way I could pull it off. Something like that. So you could be, yeah, and that could be that perfectionism energy coming through. Where it's like with this unconditional love energy, I'm hearing like there's nothing that you could tell this person about your past that would I just heard jade the way they see you. So this is a person that can see you clearly. For some of you, I'm hearing it's the first person that's ever been able to actually truly see you. And so it's like whatever happened in the past, just it's not as big of a deal as you think it might be. Okay, yeah, we've got third chakra and yin. And so the third chakra is the solar plexus. It sits at the belly button. The color is yellow, and it has to do with confidence and willpower. And then the yin card is divine feminine energy. So you could be balancing those internal aspects of masculine and feminine energies within. And then because I am getting that this feminine energy holding a heart over here, I don't feel like this is your energy. So you could be, I just heard you're getting ready to approach a divine feminine. So drop the perfectionism, because it's if you're approaching a divine feminine, they're not expecting you to be perfect. Hmm. Okay. Exchanging gifts. Hey, I'm hearing that you and this person have energetic gifts that you're being asked to exchange with each other. So there's something here where it's like, yeah, yeah. There's soul purpose stuff coming through as well. So this could be a very high level soul connection. Um, maybe you want to exchange gifts with maybe you want to give this person something physical, and it landed on like the anxiety and the hostilities card. So maybe it's like you want to give this person something physical, but then there's also this energy of like, but you don't know what the boundaries are, you don't know where the line is. So it's like part of you knows that there's this door to romance here with this person, but you also don't know what the line, like you don't know the boundaries, you don't know. Yeah, I'm getting that maybe you just don't know how this person would receive you. And so it's like you want to do all these things, you're thinking about it, maybe you're planning and strategizing on doing different things, but then you also simultaneously don't know if this person wants that from you. Um, okay. But I'm getting, because we've got this feminine energy in their heart space, I'm getting that it's literally their heart space that's calling you in. So this is reciprocal. Like this person, I heard this person is ready to receive you, which again sounds weird, but it's like whatever you want to give this person, they would, yeah, there's definitely mutual desire, we'll say. We've got the C card, which is going with the flow. Um, so I feel like that's really what you're being guided to do, is just to allow yourself to go with the flow and just go for it. And then I heard, like, "What do you have to lose?" And then I heard a masculine's voice say, "A lot." So, this could be a situation where it's like, if you go towards this person and they say no, it's gonna be heartbreaking. But it's also that energy of, like, but if you don't go, it's gonna be heartbreaking in a different way. And so it's, yeah, you're kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't energy. And so when you're in that spot, this is just my advice, when you're in that spot, go for it. Because you're gonna regret what you don't do more than what you actually do. And in a situation like this, in my opinion, it's better to go and take action towards this person and shoot your shot and see. Because the worst that's gonna happen is they're gonna say no to a romantic offer, and then you're gonna know, and then you're gonna be able to move through that, and then, open yourself up for a different kind of connection. But the best that can happen is they're on board and it is reciprocal, and they say yes. And then they're fully accepting of you and your past and everything else, and that's not a big deal. And, then you get to enter this new life together. Um, with the cards out here, I do feel like it is definitely here for you. I do feel like this person is on board. And okay, for some of you, you've dealt with a lot of feminine energies who are very judgmental, very superficial. And so for some of you, you could be not fully, and no shade or anything. It's just not fully understanding entirely what you're approaching. You're approaching somebody who's operating from a different level of awareness and consciousness. This is somebody who's looking more at the energy that you're in. What are you on the path? Are you on the journey? Are you willing to do the inner work necessary to continue to be your highest version of self? And with this card here, never ending story, this is dropping the ego. Are you willing to drop the ego when it comes to this person and allow yourself to be you, unapologetically you, to this person? And that's the kind of stuff a divine feminine is looking at. It's not so much about, things that maybe it's kind of an interesting paradox because it's like I'm getting for somebody that I'm talking to, it's like in previous relationships, maybe you were with people who were like looking at the financial aspect and what you could provide financially. And then with those connections, you were like, no, like there's kind of this closed off energy, like I'm not going to give that to you. Um, just and maybe if you did, it was just like little bits, but it was like I'm getting this energy of like, okay, let's say it's Valentine's Day. You might be the person who's like, I'm not going to go buy you flowers that are overpriced anyways, just to prove to you that I'm into you for this Hallmark holiday. And then ironically, now you're headed towards somebody and you're like, I would buy you 3 dozen fucking roses overpriced because I want to. So it's kind of funny because it's a paradox. It is. And that's the nature of these connections. And the funny thing is like this is a person who would be okay with you just like home like hand making a card or something like that. Like it's not about the money. It doesn't matter. It's the intention, it's the energy behind it. Like yeah, it's a Hallmark holiday. However, it's fun. There's hearts everywhere and it's, the love energy. So let's, show each other we love each other on this day as well as all the other days. And it's just it's different, right? So if you've been with people who have the expectation of like, you need to take me out to a fancy dinner and pay for it on the first date, this is the person that's like, yo, let's hit the grocery store and get some snacks and go sit in the park for the first date and talk and like sit next to a pond or something. Like it's just but it's funny because this is the person that you would want to take to that super nice restaurant and go all out for. So it's kind of funny. But that's kind of the nature of this because this person opened up your heart space. And so when you're in that open heart space, that giving energy is just like, tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. Like I'll figure out how to give this to you. And then this person's like, I just want you. I just want your energy. I just want your kindness. I just want your support, your loyalty. I heard your love. And so it's kind of funny. Like it's a paradox. So if you've been really worried about that kind of stuff, understand who you're approaching. You're approaching somebody who you could pull out all the stops and they're going to be looking at, your energy. Do your actions match your words? Are you going to stand on business? Are you going to follow through? And I'm getting that there's an interesting energy here with this feminine. This feminine could have a good bit of masculine energy within them because I'm getting like this is a feminine energy who is similar in that way. Like they're not going to expect something out of you that they won't show up with as well. So if they want direct communication, they're going to give you direct communication back. If they want you to stand on business, they're going to stand on business too. If they want you to do this thing, they're gonna do that too. Like it's very yeah, it's very much like I feel like you're about to approach somebody in an energy that you haven't quite dealt with yet. And it's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be fun. And it is. You're already okay, I'm hearing you're already connecting with this person in between worlds. So, and yeah, we did have my telepathy card out here. So you could be telepathically communicating with this person, whether you're fully aware of it or not. I feel like a lot of you are. So you're already connecting with this person in between worlds, like in the astral realm, in dreams, just energetically, telepathically, those kinds of things. You're already connecting with this person. So now it's time to allow yourself to go towards this person and have them confirm it for you in the physical realm as a result of you bringing them your your energy, your presence, your truth. Okay. All right. I see where this is going. Okay. That one kind of wanted to pop, didn't it? Yep. So it kind of like jumped up and then didn't fully come out. And then the next card, shit. Yeah. I was wondering. All right. So this card kind of popped up and then it was like it wanted to come out, but then it kind of went back in. So this is something that you are aware of, at least subconsciously or intuitively. You know you're going to be victorious when it comes to the situation. You know you're going to be successful. But it's one of those, like, consciously, you might still be doubting it, especially because right after that, we got the deceit card. So you could be doubting this, and you're just like, "Well, what if this and what if that?" And, worried about all these things that's, like, to this person aren't that big of a deal. It's more about, like, who are you in this now moment, and where do you wanna go, and are you willing to do what's necessary to get there? Are you willing to be I just heard 10 toes down on this path with me. Like that's what this person is desiring. It's not so much about some of these other things that are so, especially in like the dating world nowadays where it's a little oof, it's a little wild. Um but it's just all this like these expectations, and this this person has to do this and this person has to act like this, and it's like, dude, especially when you're talking, yeah, because we got the freaking yin yang card. So especially when you're talking this kind of connection, it's beyond, you have an energetic connection with this person. This is so much more beyond the physical. So those societal expectations and these dynamics that are all over social media, it's like some of it is gonna ring true, obviously. Like, there is a polarity and a balance between a divine feminine and a divine masculine energy externally, right? Because 'Cause we've got the balance internally, and then you experience those polarities externally in a romantic relationship. And so it's one of those, like, there are gonna be certain things, there's gonna be certain things that are in alignment with some of what the content is talking about. So things like the masculine being more of the container, or the stable energy, and then the feminine's more of the flowy energy. And I've heard it put, I think it is Vedic traditions or philosophy, where it's like the masculine energy is like the riverbank and then the feminine energy is the water. So it's kind of like some of those are going to show up because this is a very, it's an energetic thing, and there's balance and there's polarity and there's complementary aspects and things like this. But the thing is it's one of those, like, it's naturally going to happen. So it's naturally, this person is going to naturally pull out that I feel like I'm talking to a masculine. So it's naturally going to pull out that masculine energy within you. You're not going to have to like cry. It's one of those, it's natural. You're gonna feel a natural sense of like, this is the person I want to protect. This is the person I want to provide for. This is the person I want to do all of these things for. And then the feminine is naturally going to feel safe and secure in your energy and be able to soften and open and lighten and do all of those things. And then simultaneously, you're also going to pull into your feminine energy when the time calls for it. You're going to be receiving, you're going to be flowing, you're going to be doing your thing, and then your feminine's going to be pulling into their masculine energy and going and handling shit. It's balance, it's balance. So it's balancing in within a person, and then it's balance within a connection. And that's the thing too, is so it's not like, and I think this is a very big misconception, is people are like, oh, well, if you're in a, this type of relationship, the feminine's always soft and always this and always that, and the masculine's always this and always that. And it's like, no, that's the dynamics within the relationship. It's one of those, like, the feminine can go, because there's, like, let's say your feminine's a business owner. They're going to be pulling into their masculine energy to handle running their business. And then when it's you and your feminine hanging out, that's when those dynamics really show up. And so yes, it's going to overflow into other areas of life as well, but it's not like it has to be like that 24/7 all the time. It's going to naturally flow, and there's ebbs and flows of life, and there's cycles, there's all those things. So it's going to flow with this to the C card. It's going to flow. And so it's really understanding that there's certain dynamics that are going to show up in this dynamic for sure, but it's not something that needs like all of these strict fucking rules and you have to do this and I have to do that and this is my role and that's your role. And like some of that stuff's going to just naturally kind of happen and appear and it's going to just flow and be great. And it's going to be you pulling into your polarity and that's where you're more comfortable and then pushing your person into their polarity and that's where it's comfortable, but it's not like it has to be like that 24/7. um so ultimately it's one of these like take a breath. It's okay. This person, yeah, especially with the counterpart energy here, you wouldn't be being magnetized to this person with cards like door to romance and happy family if they weren't also on board with this. So just keep that in mind. And this is something that you both are going to work together through. So it's one of those, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be rigid and do things in this certain strict order because that's what's expected and this is the person you desire above all else. So you have to be like this and you have to be like that. There's certain things like you're not going to be able to approach a divine feminine if you're still in your crazy wounded energy, but I don't feel like you are. And so there's certain things, but again, we're talking energetic dynamics. It's not as much about what's going on in your physical world as it is about what have you done internally, and are you still operating from a heavy place of ego and attachment and external approval and all of these things? Or, because most divine feminines are walking a very unique path, uncharted territory, is what I just heard. And so it's one of those things like what a divine feminine needs the most out of a other person is the willingness to do what's necessary to stay on that path as well. So if you're committed to your path, if you're committed to alignment and things like that, and you're being called towards your person, that's all that's really necessary to bring to your person. Is just you. So don't get so caught up in like it needing to be a certain way and like I just heard like wine and dine. And if you want to, and that's what feels natural, and that's what you want to do with this person, by all means. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm not saying not to give to your person. It's just one of those like I'm getting an energy of if it's one of these things where it's like you want to do all these things with your feminine, but financially you're not quite in that spot in this now moment, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Um, Especially, yeah. And there are some feminine energies where like that is what's really important. But this energy, that's not what's important to this person, and I can feel it. This is somebody who's more like are you going to come in and ultimately it's also like how you make this person feel, and you probably feel like you're on cloud nine around this person as well, and so it's kind of that's what they're looking for is more of just like that dynamic. And so and I could be talking to somebody who's got a feminine who's um ready and willing to get down to business when it comes to like the physical realm. This isn't somebody, I'm not getting an energy, which again, we're talking a paradox here because I'm getting an energy of a feminine who's like, are you going to be my partner and on board and help me with all of these things? And then I'll help you as well. And we can come together and build together. And so I'm getting this energy of a feminine who's like who's not concerned with what your material world looks like right now. Who understands the process, who understands the journey, who understands it is a journey. It's it's just life. And so it's one of these things like it and then it's kind of funny because it's like this person is ready and willing to put in work and do things that are necessary to like I'm getting an entrepreneurial energy. So it's interesting because that's their energy. Like they don't mind putting in work and doing things in the physical realm. This could be a very intelligent person as well, maybe just very business savvy. So it's somebody like that, and then you're over here and you're like, I want to be able to provide a life where they don't have to do any of that. So it's kind of funny, like it's paradoxical, and that's part of these dynamics as well. Um, is they are kind of paradoxical. Like the things that you resist doing for others because you're like, no, like I'm not going to just do that because you think you deserve it. This is the person that you're like, I want to do all of those things because you do deserve it. So it's just kind of funny. And then it's very mirrored. Um so okay, I just heard this. Okay, this is very specific. So take this as it resonates. What I heard is this feminine is the type that isn't going to soften for anybody but themselves. So this is a feminine who's like, I got this. I can do this. I will contain myself and I will soften for myself. And then it's funny because it's like you are the person that they would actually relax into and soften into and trust to handle things and to actually take the lead and not have them be like, "Oh, well, let me, look at this and make sure it's sound and this and that and the other." So it's funny because it's definitely mirrored. So it's like things that are being pulled out of you that have never been pulled out in a different connection. There's a similar aspect on your feminine's end. It looks different, but ultimately it's funny because it's one of those like, holy shit, you're the one that I actually would do that for. You're the one that I would do this for. And it's not out of ego. It's out of literally like because you desire to do this for this person and this person desires to do certain things for you. And so it's kind of funny. You could both be a little stubborn because I'm getting like this little stubbornish energy. And if you are stubborn, your person probably is too because you're a perfect match. So there's going to be some of those things. The yeah, it's just this person matches you in your energy, in your and a lot of just different things. And then we've got the third eye. So this is intuition. This is insight. Yeah, I think I said the third eye. It's the sixth chakra. It sits it's on the forehead in between the eyes. And it has to do with seeing beyond or receiving information from beyond because it's not always just seeing. Absolutely can be. You could be getting visions or seeing things. But this is just knowing. This is hearing things. This is having just like where all of a sudden you know something but you don't know how you know it, or you're sitting there and you're like, okay, should I do this thing, and then you intuitively feel it in your body and you're like, okay, yeah, that's a yes. Maybe you're working on listening to your intuition a little more clearly, building that relationship with your intuition. For some of you there is something here though where you're still in your ego a little bit, and it's all good. It's just one of those, what I think is happening is there's a little bit of this, it could have something to do with something going on in the solar plexus. So there could be a little bit of confidence stuff that this person is triggering within you. So maybe you feel like, yeah, because I'm hearing like worthy. So you could be feeling like maybe you're not worthy of this person, but you are. This is your person, with the freaking yin yang card out here, like, and because these two came out together, so you intuitively know that this is your person. So that being said, you are a match for this person. When it's locking into some of that ego stuff that's going to cause distance between you and this person. And so if you're ready and willing to drop some of that ego and let this person in, is what I just heard, and see you, and well, they can see you regardless if you let them or not. But um if you're willing to actually drop your guard and let this person in and you're ready for that, then go for it because they're on board. Um so do your best to kind of pull out of some of these thoughts of like, what if they say no, and what if this isn't good enough, and what if they find out about that, and let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Because this it's yeah. The part of the gift that you and your person are going to exchange, you literally are gifts for each other right now. Um, because part of the gift I feel like this person is going to give you is being held by somebody who is not judging you, who is not um yeah, it's like judgmental energy. It's one of those you could go tell this person your deepest, darkest shit, and they would just be like, "Thank you for telling me," and that's still not a non-negotiable. So, yeah, that's really beautiful. And then it's interesting because that's a very mirrored thing too. So maybe there's stuff that your feminine's done or whatever, because it's like past stuff. And so maybe there's past stuff too that your feminine doesn't really share with other people or doesn't really get into with other people. And then you would be able, like, your person could tell you anything that they've done or haven't done or whatever, and you would hold them in that same energy of like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like truly, it's unconditional love. It's true, actual, real, unconditional love. And that's something that, you know, not a lot of people experience, let's put it that way. Um, it's normally conditions. It's normally, I'll love you if you show up and do this and this and this, and if you've never done this and this and this, but if you've done this one thing, then I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna withdraw. It's conditions. And this is an energy where it's like you could tell this person your deepest, darkest shit, and they would still love you unconditionally. And I feel like you would feel the exact same way about them. Okay. So with the thinking man and the root chakra, what I'm getting here is overthinking is stopping you from actually bringing this into the physical realm. So with love, stop overthinking and just allow yourself to do it. You're balanced, you're ready. Um, I feel like that's part of this ego attachment as well, is like you don't think that you are ready for some reason. There's something here. I'm getting something to do with your external world primarily. And so there's something here where it's like you don't feel like you're actually ready for this, but you are. And so it's the overthinking and the staying stuck in your head that is stopping you from being able to actually experience this in the physical realm. There's also something here about your base chakra rebalancing and coming online in an even bigger way. And our base chakra is what governs our experience with the physical reality. So it has to do with um our material world. So there's something here where your ability to stay grounded and stable and secure and experience abundance in the physical realm, that's something that's balancing out for you. So just keep trusting that, keep knowing that, don't overthink that, just allow that to happen. Because when you overthink that, it blocks it, it pushes it away. So just stay in that trust and that knowing. Surrender it to the divine and just know that it's happening for you, and just keep on. Don't I'm not saying to go make like unwise money choices and stuff like that prematurely. It's just also knowing that it is changing. You are going through a level up in your physical world. I can feel that. Yeah, blossoming abundance and rest and rejuvenation. So this could be something that you're really focused on right now. And you do have blossoming abundance in your energy. So just sit with that knowing. Continue to know that, continue to trust that it is here for you. It is coming. So just know that as well. And it's especially going to come as a result of following your heart. And there's a reason for that. It's Receiving abundance has to do with our heart space. So allowing yourself to follow your heart and feel that like overflowing energy in the heart space is going to naturally up level your finances. And then rest and rejuvenation. This could be something else that you're focused on right now is trying to like rest more, doing like making healthier choices for your body, for your life. And this is also like making decisions that are beneficial for your mental health and your energetic health, your spiritual health, not being around a bunch of people who are trying to hook into your energy and drain it all the time. And when you're around those kinds of people, kind of protect your energy a little more, those kinds of things, having some of those energetic boundaries, doing things that support, a positive mental health as well as physical health. Okay. Let's get a couple more. See what else. So, what else is going on with the situation? That man holding a heart. So, with that, that is saying that both of you are in love with each other and you have unconditional love for each other. Um, in what I'm hearing is it's time for the masculine to follow their heart. So it's time for you to follow your heart. And intuitively, you know what you're being called to do, and you are being called to take action. So, in the unfinished symphony card, yep, you're being called to follow your heart towards your person that you have unfinished business with. There's more that you and your person can do together in this lifetime, and it's aligned for you now. So trust that. Trust the alignment. Trust how far you've come on the path. Trust how far your person has come on the path. Trust that you are in alignment. You will be victorious. You will be successful when it comes to this. Release the anxieties, release the overthinking, and allow yourself to just pull into your body, pull into the now moment and take this action because it's aligned. It's time to finish what you started. You have unfinished business with this person, and you and your person are aligned now to come together and experience a beautiful reunion. So it is here. And intuitively you know that. Intuitively you know that this is your person. Intuitively you know you have a soul connection. And intuitively you know that with this person I just heard all things are possible. So this is a person that can make you feel like you're completely limitless. And go towards that. And it is funny because you have the same effect on this person as well. So that dynamic alone in continuing to grow and evolve and expand and come together and support each other, it's going to up level you in so many different ways. This new life that you are entering into, as long as you allow yourself to take action towards it, once you take action towards this new life, there are going to be things that show up for you in your physical reality that you're just like, holy shit. Like, we're experiencing this and we're going here and we're doing this and we're doing that. And it's just like all of those things that I feel like you want to do for this person, but might not be able to do right now, you're going to be able to do for them very, very soon. So yeah, and I'm getting a lot about finances. So if that's a concern, just know that that is something that's changing in your new life that you're aligning with here. It's abundant. It's very, very abundant. And so being able to do certain things and share certain experiences with your person, it's here. You're gonna be able to do that. So just trust and know that. And even if it's not like right in this exact now moment, it's coming. It's right around the corner. So just keep doing what you're doing and allow yourself to really take action is really the main thing here. Put those doubts and those fears and those worries to the side and do this anyways. Allow yourself to kind of just face that fear and do it anyways. And that's that inner strength, that inner trust as well, is knowing that you wouldn't be being called to do something of this magnitude if there wasn't something beautiful on the other end of it for you. So just trust in that, trust in yourself, trust in how far you've come on this journey, trust in your guidance, trust your intuition, and trust in the divine that you wouldn't be being magnetized to this person right now if there wasn't something more going on. And from the looks of it, it's a whole lot more going on. Like there's definitely a potential for you to go towards this person and then you two are experiencing this happy family reunion energy. Like harmonious, happy union energy. So it's like you're ready for this and you know that. But your ego, your mind is getting in the way. The doubts and the fears and the worries and all of that is getting in the way. So just kind of put that to the side and allow yourself to take this action and communicate your truth with this person. And what that's going to do is that's going to open up different possibilities for you in other areas of life as well. And so you're going to receive opportunities and resources kind of out of left field that weren't even on your radar. So just remember that too. Sometimes when we're guided to do this one thing, what we don't see is all of this other stuff the universe is working on in the background, and then when we follow that guidance, it opens us up for all of these other possibilities and opportunities and resources and experiences and everything else. So the main thing that's in front of you right now, I feel like, is reconnecting with this person, and then other doors of opportunity are going to start opening for you really, really rapidly. Just as a result of you following your heart space and taking this leap of faith. So ultimately, you are going to be victorious and have success when it comes to this situation. Alrighty dokie. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. I hope this helps. This was a beautiful reading. Um, you got this. Trust in yourself. That's the biggest part here. Alrighty. Well, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. I will see you on the next message. Bye.